This morning, we listened to a veteran's voice that can't talk about what she did during World War II. Betty Petrie was a lieutenant junior grade in the U.S. Navy working in communications. But due to where she worked, her service was classified in a life that's anything but silent.
Betty Petrie marked her 104th birthday this week with a sharp salute. This Navy veteran answered the call to serve in the months following Pearl Harbor. A second-grade teacher in Salinas, Petrie was actually in the hospital on December 7th, 1941.
And I listened to bombing and the report over a radio in my room. That was it. And all the nurses would come in for just short briefs of time to listen to the radio, because I think it was one of the few that was in the hospital.
Soon after, she joined the U.S. Naval Reserve with the Waves, the women accepted for volunteer emergency service.
I was in one of the first classes.
She was sent to Iowa for training and then off to Washington, D.C.
I worked out at the Pentagon for a short period of time.
But she was soon doing clerical work in our nation's capital, handling sensitive communiques.
Was it top secret type stuff?
Yes, very.
She worked out of the Mount Vernon Seminary for Girls, which was purchased by the U.S. Navy and converted to a communications annex. It was responsible for many secret intelligence activities, including breaking enemy codes, like the Enigma cipher system used by German U-boats. Betty will only say security was very tight.
The color of the tag entitled you to a certain section of the building, and you were not allowed to go into any others.
Oh, wow.
So it was under marine protection at all times. Everything top secret.
Which you can't talk about certain parts of what?
Well, that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday, dear Betty.
Betty was offered a special gift earlier this year, a trip on the honor flight last May. Organizers even offering her a nurse to travel along with her, but Betty said she had to decline.
And it took a lot of courage, I guess it would be a word I could use, to say no. I would have loved to have gone back to Washington, D.C. and see the walls and all of that. I know myself, and I was afraid that I would not be able to tolerate the rigidness of in and out of a bus.
So Honor Flight Kern County brought the memorials to Betty with a special virtual trip for her birthday. A veteran still dedicated to service and country after more than 100 years of life.
And one final note about the complex where she worked. It's now run by the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh.
There you go. All right, we want to tell you a little bit more about your veteran's story. Send us information about someone who served, a picture, a basic bio, or does your veteran need a landscaping makeover? Jay's Garden Works also still available to help a member of our military clean up their landscaping. Send us your nominations simply to mike@kero.com. You can see all of our Veterans Voice stories at turnto23.com.